Freedom March with Rodney Munker. Up next on ILTV.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Munker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of ILS or the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a product of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented, in part or entirety, without express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2024. All rights are reserved.
Marijuana is a dangerous drug.
The Queen is dead! God save the King!
There can never be rape in marriage. BMW sound like bad man wagon. Not only am I saved, I'm saved and sanctified. The revolution is alive, and we must continue to document it.
Freedom!
Broadcasting live from the ILTV studios located here at University Drive in Nassau, Bahamas. Welcome once again to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Munker. I'm a Justice of the Peace here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I'm also a member of the local Catholic Christian community. Today is Monday, the 9th day of December in the year of our Lord 2024. It is 16 days before Christmas. Notwithstanding that there's 16 days before Christmas, and the government has given out thousands of dollars to various Junkanoo groups. There's now an emerging dispute that there are a group of Negroes that nobody elected, but apparently they are in charge of the Junkanoo parade, and there's a dispute, and I'm being advised that they are canceling Junkanoo. Well, I will say to them, we're rushing through the crowd. So it's powerful. What the hell is going on as we prepare for the Christmas festivities? So there are some of the controversial matters taking place in Junkanoo. I want to examine the minister responsible for Junkanoo and a man named Burma George. Who is Burma George? It is emerging that Burma George has the full cultural Nelson on the minister responsible for Junkanoo. This is what I'm being told. I always thought that Burma George was a man principally concerned about the environment. As under both governments, he appears to have gotten some wonderful contract, but it appears that he's now the trigger man in the disruption of Junkanoo, according to a cultural source. So we've not been able to find Burma George. We've been calling him for days, and he has been ignoring the call. What is Mario Boleg doing? Does he have everything under control? I don't know. This is Freedom March. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save Junkanoo. It appears there might not be any this Christmas. Hold on, everybody. I'll be right back after the break.
Freedom March with Rodney Munker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker, my spiritual advisor. He's here. He had a wonderful day on Sunday at
The best of the best.
the best of the
I
best.
actually did 2 days Santa. I did Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
Very-
And where did you celebrate?
Very interesting cultural exhibition of sailing.
Was that at Fort
Fort
Montague?
Montague, yeah.
Okay.
And of course, you know, all of my boys and family from Black Point. I was
Okay.
hoping that they would have cleaned things up, but it didn't happen that way. Look like the Long Island boys. Look like they kind of did well.
Long Island was the fellas from Long Island.
Yeah,
was
they
here.
look like they won most of the prizes and
Really?
this
This is powerful.
I think they call it the A category, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Had a good
But
time.
A is the first letter in the alphabet, and there's a lot of controversy over A. It reminded me of when my first cousin did so well in school and got like 7A. And we didn't know what A stand for. So Kitty said A was for us. And we were shocked to see that first cousin had 7A. And all Titty said, that was a dumb boy. Do you know Titty was wrong? A meant excellent. Anyway, my spiritual advisor, he's ready. Bradley, welcome to Freedom March. It's a
Oh,
wonderful
boy, I tell
day.
you.
Behold the behemoth.
Yeah, there's never a dull moment on this show, I can tell you that. You try your best not to crack, but hey, what can I say? James chapter 4, verses 1 through 10. We got a little interesting read, but follow me, please. What causes fights and quarrels among you? Don't they come from your desire that battle within you? You desire, but you do not have, and so you kill. You covet, but you cannot get what you want, so you quarrel and fight. You do not have because you don't ask God. When you ask, you do not receive because you ask with the wrong motives, and that you may spend what you get on your pleasures. Go ahead, producer. You adulterous people, don't you know that friendship with the world means enmity against God? Therefore, anyone who chooses to be a friend of the world becomes an enemy of God. Or do you think Scripture says without reason that He jealously longs for the Spirit He has caused to dwell in us, but He gives us more grace? That is why the Scripture says, go ahead, producer, God opposes the proud, but shows favor to the humble. Submit yourselves then to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Come near to God, and he will come near to you. Wash your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. Grieve, mourn, and wail. Change your laughter to mourning, and your joy to gloom. Last verse. Humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will lift you up. James chapter 4, 1 through 10. I should have taken a bit more time to read it, but in your spare time, go through that passage again. James chapter 4, 1 through 10. I read from the NIV for clarity. The Word of God is always blessed. Thank you, producer, and back to you, Santa.
I thank you, my spiritual advisor.
Amen.
Well, folks, you would recall that on the 4th of December, St. Barnabas Member of Parliament, the Honorable Shenandoah Cartwright, acted in collusion with the leader of the opposition, Michael Pentard, and the Free National Movement when Mr. Cartwright threw the mace out of the northern window of the House of Assembly in an attempt to get it over in Rawson Square, but fortunately it fell below the window where the government has some stages set up for Junkanoo. So we know what he did, and it is alleged that he was attempting to imitate the first Prime Minister in an independent Bahamas, Lyndon Oscar Pinling. Well, on Friday of last week, Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis, he spoke at a branch meeting of St. Barnabas. That would be the PLP branch meeting at St. Barnabas, in which the Prime Minister criticized the Free National Movement leadership and described them as being unhinged. I think it's very significant in view of the fact that there has been this attempt to destroy the mace. And I want to look at the throwing of a mace outside of the Parliament and what it costs when maces are damaged. I think in the case of when Pinling throw out the mace, if I'm correct, and based on the information I received, it would have cost the state between $260,000 to $270,000 to repair it. I'm certain it would not have been 260,000 pounds. So I suspect it's $260,000 to $270,000 to repair or to purchase a brand new mace. And the mace has been clothed in mystery. And as a result of that, I'll come back to it. But let's look at what the Prime Minister had to say, and then we will talk about the mystery of the mace and what rumors has been spread over the last 59 years. Because it's 59 years ago since Pinling threw the mace outside of the House of Assembly. So F&M leadership unhinged, PM says. Prime Minister Philip Davis launched a scattering, a scorching attack on the Free National Movement at a Progressive Liberal Party event on Friday night, accusing the F&M leadership of being, quote, unhinged, end quote, and the opposition party of hatching a violent plan to throw the mace out of the House of Assembly in order to grab headlines. Davis spoke at a PLP branch meeting in St. Barnabas, the constituency represented by the F&M deputy leader, Shannon Doyle Cartwright. He said Cartwright isn't paying attention to his constituencies or to his constituents and is instead strutting around like he is the leader of the F&M. The Prime Minister said the country is doing or is dealing with serious issues. Let me repeat that again. The Prime Minister said the country is dealing with serious issues stemming from a U.S. indictment that alleges corruption in the police and defense force. But rather than rallying round as a country, rather than bringing people to work together to solve something which affects every part of our society, what were the opposition doing? The Prime Minister asked. They were busy rehearsing their little puppy show. Davis said they were busy running ads on the radio telling people to come to a protest when what they really wanted was to put in an audience. Well, I'm reading that incorrectly. Let me read that again. The Prime Minister said what they really wanted was to pull in an audience. He also said they had it all set up. They were going to grab the headlines. Last Wednesday, Cartwright hurled the mace, a symbol of the Speaker's authority, out of a window of the House of Assembly, causing chaos in Parliament that led to the F&M members present being forcibly removed by police officers. So that is significant, and it was important that the Prime Minister came to our constituency. As you know, I have returned to Black Village, so I'm now a resident of the St. Barnabas constituency. So as we talk about the action of the Free National Movement as it relates to the mace, my mind went back this morning on what happened to the mace that Pinling threw out of the House of Assembly on the 27th of April, I think it was, 1965. There were so many rumors because we all know from historical accounts that the PLP leadership had decided that they were going to throw out the mace, and I think it was over the fact that the UBP was gerrymandering the various seats. And of course, Pinling and those kept the secret, similar to what Shenandoah and Michael Pintard did. Pinling did not tell Sir Orville Turnquest, nor it is reported that he did not inform the Honorable Paul Lawrence Adderley and perhaps another PLP member of Parliament, which culminated in them being very angry and leaving the party. And Pinling had some very good reason, because in the case of Sir Orville Turnquest, he was a part of a law firm called the Pugh and Turnquest, and the Pugh was a minister in the UBP government, and him and Sir Orville was like, they were tight like white on rice. So they couldn't take any chance, and therefore he was not told. So I'm concerned about the rumors. You would recall that Cecil Wallace Whitfield, according to historians, was the national chairman of the governing of the opposition Progressive Liberal Party in 1965, and he was responsible to keep the crowd mobilized when Pinling threw the mace out of the window. And it is reported that when Pinling threw the mace out of the House of Assembly, Sir Cecil picked it up. That is one of the rumors. And subsequently, after the Honorable Arthur D. O'Hana was ejected from the House of Assembly, Cecil, it is alleged, gave Sir Arthur the mace. And the new reports coming in is Sir Arthur then took the mace and went home with it and buried it in his yard. So I have been quietly investigating that, and today I'm going to call on Glenys Hannah Martin. I want Glenys Hannah Martin to do one or two things. I want her to search the front of the property or the back. Outside of that, I seek authorization to enter the estate and to search for the mace. I don't want to go there without permission, because I don't want Glenys to accuse me of trespass. But I'm very curious. I really want to find the mace, and I have reason to believe. I have no evidence. Don't forget, these are things that I concoct in my mind, and based on this concoction, I believe Glenys Hannah knows where her daddy hid the mace. Not in 1965, because she was a little girl, but I feel satisfied that Glenys got to know where the mace is hidden, because a couple of years ago, I was driving past her father's estate and I saw her. And as I look in the yard, it appeared to me that there was a certain part of the yard that Glenys didn't like to go to. And I said to myself, I wonder if that's where the mace is hidden. So I want to publicly call on Glenys Hannah to produce the mace. I'm not trying to create any problem with her, but it's a very historic piece of instrument, and these might just be rumors. Maybe they did find the mace, but I'm advised that Cecil, who's deceased, he picked it up, he gave it to the Honorable Arthur Hannah, who is deceased, and Arthur Hannah hid it in the ground in his yard. And I publicly call on Glenys Hannah Martin to allow archaeologists and other scientists to enter the property and to excavate. My spiritual advisor.
I guess you're trying your best not to cause problems, but it is what it is, Sandra. So the mace is buried in the yard. What's the value of the mace? How much is the value?
Well, up to that point, I was advised that perhaps 260,000 or 270,000, either for
Really?
brand new mace, yeah, or to repair the mace.
Wow.
So I'm hearing that Arthur Hanna buried in his yard.
All right, so the mace that was thrown out the window, was it damaged?
It was damaged. In fact,
Are you sure?
I said it was damaged. I wasn't there in '65, but that's
No.
what I
I'm
got.
talking about the one that Shannon Dawn threw out the window. Was that damaged?
Well, I don't know because I've not seen that mace.
Okay.
But I'm talking about the mace that Arthur Hanna threw out. And of course, show the picture with Arthur Hanna so the spiritual advisor would see my daddy in khaki suit. And I'm advised that when he threw that mace out, when Billy threw the mace out, they almost licked my father.
All right,
There's my father.
which one's your father?
The man in the khaki.
Oh, that's your dad?
That's my father.
Okay.
Yeah. He told the men.
That's George Munker?
George Gilbert Monker,
Okay.
the first.
First.
He instructed the officers to be very gentle with with the Honorable Arthur Hanna, and notwithstanding,
But they escort you out differently then than they do now.
well, Arthur Hanna was a patriot.
He doesn't seem to be under much duress.
He's a patriot. My father was in charge.
But understand my point though, because when you look at the photos of the current leaders of the opposition being thrown out of the house, you see scuffling and you see shirts and suits
Well,
being
that's
torn.
because they
So,
did not act like.
but these police
political
officers
prisoners.
seems to have a bit more, control,
No.
and they seem to be a bit more humane. Look at Alhana.
Well,
He's
Alhana,
enjoying that.
He
Right? They have him by
he
his
was
two
a
hands.
hero of the revolution, and each police officer.
You're missing my point, man. That ain't what I'm
supported the
talking about.
revolution.
That ain't what I'm talking about.
What are you talking about?
Look at the way Arthur Hand is being handled.
I'm telling
now.
you why he's being
That's
handled
fine.
like that.
I understand that. That's fine.
What do you understand?
They handle him differently because of his role.
Yes,
Okay. But Shannon Cartwright is deputy leader of the opposition.
but
So
he's
why
not
why
a
should he be?
revolutionary.
Yeah, I know. So you could just rough him up and hook him by one police officer had him
Don't
by
forget the speaker was in danger.
You know the police script they put in your pants?
Yeah.
Where they grab the back of the
Don't
belt?
forget the speaker was in danger, and she
That's
was
not true.
calling on-
That's not true. She was never in danger.
That's what she said.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean she's
It's
correct.
Your anti-woman.
Yeah, that's not true.
Anytime a
She was
woman
never
says
in
man
danger.
grab a mace, she better haul her murder. This is Freedom March. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save the King. Glennis Hanna. When are we going to dig for the mace?
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Munker, his guests, and callers on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2020. All rights are reserved.
Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Munker. We're going to talk a little Junkanoo in a few minutes, but before we do so, the spiritual advisor will pay bills. Bradley?
Multi-Discount is a store located on Royal Avenue offering a wide range of home goods and appliances at affordable prices. They also cater to various styles, from simple to sophisticated, making them a great option for new and old parents or for anyone who's just looking to freshen up their home. Money Max. Everybody needs money always, so send money internationally and locally through Western Union with Money Max. Download the Money Max app today to send cash instantly to a family member or friend anytime and anywhere. Sending money has never been simpler. The app is available on the Apple Store and Google Play Store. Money Max. Live your max life.
This is powerful. Well, folks, it's about 16 days before Christmas. Every Christmas, Bahamians everywhere anticipate Junkanoo. And this Christmas, it is as if the devil has entered the parade. And it's a clear indication to me that many of the Junkanoo leaders are not saved people, because essentially this dispute is based on sin. It's a very sinful thing that is taking place here. The government, in its attempt to make Junkanoo work, has decided that the two factions of the Valley Boys will be allowed to participate in Category A. This comes about as a result of the fact that an action is currently in the courts. And regrettably, I must say it with great taste, that the court is dragging its feet. And it appears that the court does not recognize that revolution can emanate from cultural dispute, because culture is one of the greatest political force in any society. And so the court, having received an ex parte summons, issued an ex parte injunction. I'm showing off. I don't know what they means, but I'm only repeating what the lawyers them say. This is an application where one group went to court by itself and told the court it was in danger if the court didn't stop what was taking place. But the court is not moving efficiently. The court is not moving quickly to hear the cultural arguments and apply the law and make a decision as to which of the faction are entitled to the name the Valley Boys. So therein lies your problem. So the government has attempted to resolve it, wanting to be fair to everyone. And so we have seen both factions receiving over $30,000. Together, they have gotten over $60,000. But
So they've gotten more than $60,000. I thought it was $60,000 split into $30,000 for each group. Isn't that what it was?
well, isn't that what I said?
You say over.
Okay.
You say over 60,000.
How much?
Then you say over 30,000.
How much did they get?
30,000 apiece.
Okay, so the 60,000.
Yeah.
I thank you, my spiritual advisor. So they've gotten $60,000
Split between the two.
split between the two.
So it's 30,000 for each group.
But what did they got last year? What did they get
I don't know.
in January? They didn't get 60,000.
Okay.
That's the point I'm making.
Okay, well.
Okay? They didn't get it. Now, we have to take into consideration that this is public money. Now enters the JCNP, Dion Miller, a Negro man who hails from Big Pond. I'm being advised that notwithstanding the fact that the government says that the two splintered group should go to Bay Street and to participate, which is a wonderful compromise. Dion Miller has issued a political statement critical of the office of the Prime Minister and accusing the government of being political. Now, certainly, when I heard that, I began to look to see where is the F&M in this. Because don't forget who I am. I am 68. And I'll have you to know that I was in Thompson Lane meeting with a couple of Saxon rushers and artists on Saturday. I went there because I anticipated skullduggery, and I wanted to hear from that group of Saxon because that group living through Thompson Lane, they are regarded as people who are saved, who are very culturally oriented, and who loves competition. And they're not interested in boycotting Junkanoo. Now there's this threat of boycotting. I'm going to appeal to the mother of Dwayne Davis to speak to Dwayne and to tell Dwayne that this Junkanoo must go on and Dwayne must not return $1. And to tell Dwayne Davis that he must encourage the group to rush and to participate. Who the hell these people think they are that they could cancel Junkanoo? Huh? Who do they think they are? And why are they acting in such a reckless and irresponsible manner without thinking about the young children, the young people, and the senior citizens like me who would like to go to Bay Street, sit down, and have fun? Something is fundamentally wrong, and I call on Dion as the godfather of his brother. See y'all ain't know that. I am Dion Miller, brother, godfather. And I don't want to have to come in Big Pond to carry on, because once I show up, most of them children in the house, I'm their godfather. So he would not be able to run me from his parents' house, because I'm the godfather. I just want to show you all how small this country is. And I don't want to have to curse out my godson, big brother. So I want Dion to stop it and encourage cultural unity. I want Mario Bowleg. Is that his name?
Not Mario Bowleg. His name is Mario Miller. Sorry, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, Mario Bowleg. That's the minister. The Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture. That's the name you want?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Who I want?
You want the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture.
What is his name?
Mario Bowleg.
Did I call his name correctly?
Yeah, you did.
Yes. I've been told that he's being controlled by a man named Boomer George. Now, Mario, I want you to understand that politics is entering this. You're going to have to make up your mind whether or not you're going to be objective and have a strong talk with Boomer George. I don't care how many tractors Boomer George owns. I don't care how much big truck he owns. Boomer George will not be allowed to control Junkanoo. And I'm going on Wolf Road to stand up in that man yard, and when Boomer George is passing, I'm going to curse Boomer George out. All right? Because that's the report I'm getting. I couldn't believe that Boomer George would do that. I always thought that Boomer George was a wonderful citizen, a man who believed in cultural unity. Boomer George let me down. And I can't believe that Mario is allowing Bummer George to do this. The same way I can't believe that Dwayne Davis is not fighting for cultural unity. So, I'd like for Junkanoo to go on. I want the Bohemian to have a wonderful Christmas and New Year's event. And everybody go to Bay Street and rush. Any comments, my spiritual advisor?
So, to get to the meat of the matter, what really caused this infighting and what really caused the split in this group, the Valley Boys? Because here's what I suggest to them, all right? This is how the religious world does it. And the religious world is different from the first century church. Let me tell you how the religious world is.
Don't use the religious world. Tell us how they did it in the first century.
No. We don't believe in schism. And even if there is a schism, the Bible teaches how to deal with schism. But let me tell you how the religious world deal with it, right? If you have the Jerusalem church and there's a schism in Jerusalem church and it causes a split, whoever come out, their name could be now the New Jerusalem.
Please don't use that example.
Yeah, I'm just telling you.
Because you don't believe in the New Jerusalem. Tell me about the first century church.
Listen, man, Senator, listen, I'm just using this. Forget about that for now. I'm just telling you, this is the best way for them to resolve this, right? You got the Jerusalem church, right? And if there's schism in the Jerusalem church, whoever come out.
My spiritual advisor.
Give me a second. This is how you differentiate the name.
Pastor in the New Jerusalem church. What
boy.
sin has he been accused of?
So, when the split
Half of the children is his own.
Forget about Jesus of mercy. Man, Sandra,
Why are you using that church as an example?
Just forget about that for a second. I'm just telling you how they can solve this. Wherever the split happens and whoever comes out, they should change their name. Instead of Jerusalem Church, they can be now the New Jerusalem Church.
Okay, that's
now you say you solve that?
No, you don't solve it that way.
That easy.
No, you solve
that's
it.
how you tell the difference between the two.
This is how you solve it. You solve it in accordance with the law.
Well, that's the church law.
No, that's not the church law because you know.
I'm just using that.
My personal advice,
Sandra,
you don't believe in the New Jerusalem denomination.
No, I don't. But I just showing you how they solve their problem.
No.
When you split up,
no.
You call the new.
Show me how it's done in the first century.
Okay, let's go to the First Baptist Church then.
No.
All right. So you got the First Baptist Church. So if the First Baptist Church split, the next one could be the new First Baptist Church.
Leave the Saxon leader, Sister Church alone.
You see where I'm coming from? Son, I'm just trying to show you how they should resolve this matter. So the court wants
Who's
to decide.
Who's the leader of the Saxon?
Is that Wall of Francis?
Why don't you leave one of them church alone?
I'm not attacking the church. I'm just using the name.
Leave one of them church alone before I have to discuss that.
So anyhow, Sandra, what caused this group to split now? What's happening?
In the Junkanoo community, big money is being made, and a handful of fellas benefit. They don't throw nice party. They keep all the profits to themselves. They're not accountable. They think they own the Junkanoo group.
Oh, so there's a hierarchy in these Junkanoo groups then?
Yes.
Okay.
Every Junkanoo group, the foot soldiers are now complaining.
Okay.
There are many persons who have stopped rushing because they are tired of being exploited. They are tired of seeing the leadership thief all the money.
Okay.
So what has been happening is certain Junkanoo groups have been calling for transparency, calling for election. Those who think they own it refuse to hold an election. And then everybody start seeking legal advice. And in the case of the Valley Boys, one of the things that was discovered, notwithstanding that Carl Bettel and the FNM made a decision that every group had to be registered to avoid money laundering. Many of these groups has not done it, and out of political expediency, Carl Bettel, the then Attorney General, did not compel them to do it. So what you had in the case of the Valley Boy, after a sector of it refused to register the group, another portion of the organization, they registered it. When they applied, it is alleged that the Registrar General informed the other faction, I have an application, what are your position? And they said nothing. And so the group was registered.
Okay, and they registered as what, the Valley Boys?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Now, what is happening is there is, only me can tell it to you, there is an F&M element.
Now, make sure you tell me the truth now.
My spiritual advisor, you've never caught me in a lie.
Well, not yet, but anyhow, don't lie here, but make sure I understand the
There
truth.
is an F&M element.
Why the F&M got to be in everything, man?
It's political.
Okay, so that's the problem.
Do you know Dion Miller?
No, I don't know him.
If you knew Dion Miller, he's not that political. He's the older brother of my godson.
All right. So
You heard what I just told you?
All right, yeah, so
And so what is happening here is politics has been injected,
into this Junkanoo.
and Mario Boleg is not managing it correctly, and he's allowed Bomber George. That's the new allegation. I was shocked when they told me Bomber George is the master.
But Bowman George was never a part of this equation. When this whole matter started, this is the first time now I'm hearing his name.
Right.
So who's now interjecting his name into this matter?
The Junkanoo people. All right? And they said to me, watch Bomber George. So I've been all over Nassau trying to find Bomber George, and I can't find Bomber George.
All right, so the reality is with the names, there's a court matter, and the court will decide who's going to be the original Valley Boys and what's going to happen to the other faction. This is a court matter.
Yeah.
All right, so if it's a court matter, then what should happen is those groups should allow the court matter to take its process.
Yes, that is what is happening. But in the meantime, the government who provides the funding has said that the two factions may participate in the A category, and that's
Now,
reasonable.
who makes that call? The government or JCNB?
The government, man. Nobody.
Who's in charge of the Junkanoo parade?
The government is in charge of
See,
it.
now that ain't what I understand.
Don't mind what you understand. The government
Now,
is in charge.
So because the government pay the money, they're in charge of
The government is in charge.
Senator, that is not what I'm understanding.
I understand that.
the JCNP, which is a what's the word I'm looking for? Autonomous group.
So they
manages the Junkanoo.
are they paying the Royal Bahamas Police Force to provide security on Bay Street?
Who's paying for security?
I'm asking you if
I don't know. More than likely the government is doing that.
Right, it's the government. Junkanoo's always been government.
So in this case, then the man who has the goal makes the rule.
My
That's
spiritual
what you're saying?
advisor, it is a proper compromise. Let the two group go to Bay Street until such time as a judge can hear the matter.
So what is the purpose of the JCNP? What is their role in all this?
I don't know what their role is.
That's what you need to find out.
My spiritual
so you can
advisor,
advance a proper argument.
my
'Cause
spiritual
you telling
advisor,
me-
you tell me what their role is.
Isn't that the body that oversees the Junkanoo parade?
My spiritual
Isn't the
advisor,
JCNP
my
in
spiritual
charge?
advisor, while
Don't they tell the groups who's going to be first, second,
while
third,
they
fourth, fifth, or
play
sixth?
a role,
Don't they make the rules?
they have become very political. All right? They have become very
So the
political.
JCNP has no power then?
What? Say it again?
Why are they assembled as a group if they have no power?
Anyway,
You see my point, right?
nobody voted for them. It's government
See,
money.
now, so you're trying to take the power from them.
I'm not trying to take. They don't have no power.
Okay.
They don't have no power. If they had power, they would have followed.
So why is
precisely what the law is?
Why is Brian saying that he is the chairman of the JCNB?
Brian is saying
Is it Brian?
Who's Brian?
No. What's your godson name? Sorry? So why is Dion Miller saying he's the chairman of the JCNP?
Dion is not my godson.
Well, whoever he is.
I don't want.
Your godson brother then?
I don't want. Let me just correct it.
Yeah.
Let me correct it, because the last time I criticized him, the whole family called me.
Yeah, well, don't get personal.
No, I'm not getting personal. Now, listen. I never said Dion was my godson. Dion's last brother is my godson.
Right. So
And he's a
Dion
wonderful-
Miller says he is chairman of the JCNB.
Yes, that doesn't give him the power to usurp what the government is doing. the Attorney General has given legal advice. When do you go against the advice of the Attorney General?
Okay, so here's what we
Huh?
so here.
When is it that a group that is a quasi-government goes against the advice of the Attorney General? If they're not going to listen to the Attorney General might as well resign.
So who does JCNP report to?
I don't know who they report to. At the moment, it appears
They are an
that they're
organized
reporting
body,
to...
though.
Huh?
They are an organized body.
My spiritual advisor, are you listening to what I said? The Attorney General has given certain advice subject to a court decision. Should they ignore what the Attorney General say? The country is too lawless. And all of this is happening because basically you're dealing with a bunch of unsaved people. You all ain't saved. That's what this is. It's sinful. You all are not saved. You all have no love in your heart. If you have love in your heart, you will compromise. Everybody go to Bay Street and let's have fun. Let the two Wally boys rush. Simple as that.
So let me ask you a question. Is the government the only seed-giving entity that supports Junkanoo? No.
My spiritual advisor, I'm only going by the law.
You see what I'm saying? So you have other people that feed into these
Whoever
groups.
gives seed
And they give more than the
money
government does.
not dominate what happens
But you
on
also
Bay
you
Street.
just seemed to suggest that just a couple of minutes ago that because the government gave the seed money, the government controls
has
it.
always been in charge of Junkanoo.
Well, I never know that to be that way, Sandra.
So where you been all these years?
I didn't know that.
The
Don't say that.
JCNP is a new creation.
So who created it?
I don't know who created it.
And who gave it the power
It's
it
a
has?
new creation.
Who gave it the power
It
it has?
advises fundamentally the minister. Mario Bowleg is falling down on it.
All right, so what the government needs to do is to seize the whole Junkanoo concept and let the government run it. Because it is a national cultural event.
Yeah, but you're not
So
saying
we don't
that,
need the JCNP.
You're not saying that with love.
Kick
You're
the
not
JCNP
saying that
out.
with compromise.
Yeah.
You are wicked.
No, to
You're
avoid all
wicked.
this confusion, the government could then kick the
There is
JCNP
no
out
confusion. It's called
and control
for
the whole thing.
compromise. It's Christmas time. What they can do? The next thing you know, they're on Bay Street fighting and shooting.
That's what probably will happen.
Well, it ain't gonna happen here.
Anyway, so what's going to happen? What's going to happen the way forward? Oh, maybe.
It's amazing, eh? Anyway, it's just amazing.
Maybe that's what should happen.
Let
One
all-
should be the original Valley
all
Boys,
go to Bay Street.
and the next one should be
The court will determine
the
that.
new Valley Boys.
The court has not met to make a decision.
Okay.
So you can't ask anyone to make that decision because it's in court. The government has come up with the best compromise. The two of y'all go to Bay Street.
I think it makes sense. Yeah, let the two of them.
Right.
But here's the problem, though.
What is the problem?
Here's the problem.
What is the problem?
The Valley Boys A, the Valley Boys B will be able to rush on Bay Street in the A category and can compete. Now, what happens if one or the other wins? Now, you see the problem? One or the other will want the bragging rights. They say,
my spiritual
we
advisor-
the original Valley Boys,
But
we want the bragging. Now, you see the problem?
Junkanoo has never been fair in this country.
As far as judging is concerned?
Yeah. All right? You know much of these Junkanoo judges, they rush with the group.
Not only that, when the prime ministers of the year rushes with a particular group, it seems as if that particular group wins.
That is not
wins the
true.
parade.
That is not true.
That's how it seems. They
that's
judge
not
it
true.
based on which
Stop-
prime minister.
Stop your F&M propaganda.
I'm telling you.
Stop it.
Based on which prime minister is rushing which group, that's the group will win. I mean, that's the way I see it, but it could be wrong. You know.
Oh, boy.
Anyhow.
All that is lacking. Oh, Bummer George called. I got to answer Bummer George. Bummer George, I got your number.
And make sure to tell me it's safe.
Just hold on a second. Listen, folks, y'all don't call me. Bummer George has called me. And I want Bummer George to know that I am not putting up with what he's doing because I always thought Bummer George was a saved man.
Hello.
Is this Bummer George?
Man, why are you doing this to me, man? What I got to do with you, being honest?
Bummer George, I have been
I'm
relying.
not Rev Davis, and I'm not chairman of the JCNP.
I'm told that you're controlling a whole minister, and I want you to stop it.
You, Mr. Markov, you need to stop that. Because I know what you're talking about, you know.
Yes, you stop it. You the man with the big truck and tractor? Huh?
What I got to do with Junkanoo?
You are controlling the minister. I want you to stop it.
You better stop your shit, you know. But you talking foolishness. Me have nothing in common.
Do you know Mario Boleg?
I know my like brothers. We have nothing in common.
Are you his general?
I'm not a general.
Are you the man who is hiding in the forest?
You know what I'm saying? People like you better watch that about here. You better stop putting me and Mary together. Okay, me and Mary nothing.
Anyway, I want you to do me a favor, eh? I want you to go and meet with them and tell them there must be love and unity. Promise me it now.
What I'm saying to you, Mr. Monkey, is stop that, man, because that's not just interest, false information getting...
Listen, I got this. If I tell you who tell me this, you will curse.
Can you please tell me that? I want to know.
I can't say it publicly, but it's from high source. When they call your name...
Look, Mr. Monkey, me and you are very cool. Okay?
Mama George, what you doing tomorrow? I'm prepared to invite you on the show.
Come on the show because I'm not the
because I'm prepared to condemn you. You're not safe.
You began with that tonight. What happened? The JTNP control jump that bomber?
This is Freedom March. God save Mama George.
Yeah, but don't call my name because I know what you tell untrue.
Make sense.
Freedom March with Rodney Munker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. We just hung up on Bomber George. He's rowing and he's denying it. And all I want Bomber George to know that I'm very disappointed
Leave
in
him
him.
alone. He obviously is not
He
involved.
should do everything to bring the groups together, because in a confidential meeting this morning, it was revealed to me it was Bomber George. And I keep saying to them, you sure it's Bomber George? They said, listen, it's Bomber George.
But he just called and said it's not him, Rodney. So
And
leave the man alone.
I believe my sources, and of course, I see where Dwayne, perhaps his mom, has told him his mother is one of the women them. And whenever these men act up, I appeal publicly to the women in their family. So, shall we speak to Dwayne after the
Let's speak with him after we do the
birthday?
birthdays. Yeah.
Go ahead, my spiritual advisor.
Okay, we got some birthday shout-outs to do. Carson Miller is first on the list, so we'd like to wish nephew Carson Miller a happy birthday. It's coming from his parents, Mitchell, Kelly, and the Miller's family. Okay, so happy birthday to Carson Miller. Omari Roll is celebrating a 13th birthday. Happy 13th birthday to Omari Roll. It's coming from your mom, Latika, your daddy, Austin, your stepfather, Ronaldo, sisters, Renea and Rena, your brothers, Pinocchio, and Zephin, your aunts, uncles, cousins, your parents, your godparents. I shouldn't use that term, but anyhow, the Church of God of Prophecy National Children's Choir and Junior Band, the Love Center, grandparents, Gregory, Peachy, Ma, Graylin, especially Grammy, Nita, and Shelly Panzer. They love you. Happy birthday to Mary Roll. So, Kisi, happy birthday to Kisi from Judy, CIA, Lily, and especially Shirley May. Enjoy your day to the fullest. Happy birthday to Kissy. Shiloh, happy birthday. Wishes goes out to Shiloh Aura Roberts. Greetings home from your parents, Raymond and Sharonda Forbes, your grandparents, Raymond, and Carmen Forbes, also your aunts and uncles, cousins, all who love you. So happy birthday to Shiloh. And looks like we've come to the end of the list. Do you have any shout-outs, Sandra?
Yes, there is a shout out that I should have given, but it has slipped my memory. So I'm getting old now. But to everybody in the country, I salute you and I shout out to you. Let's get Dwayne
Davis on the line.
Davis, because I'm trying to figure out what is going on. We hope that Dwayne Davis. Hello, is this Dwayne Davis?
Hey, Rodney, how are you?
Listen, I'm fine. Did your mom told you that I call your name?
Yeah, but we did say you called back there. What's up?
I am being told that you've been accused of threatening to return the money to all the people who bought bleachers. Is that true?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I always knew you were a saved man. So you support having Junkanoo?
That's a lie. Whoever tell you that, that was never said by me. Where you get it?
I heard that in the news.
Do all those things.
No?
Uh-uh.
Are
I
you
never threatened
assisting?
to turn the news.
Are you assisting Alive with the sales of the tickets?
I work for Alive, and we sold the tickets during the hour.
Okay. And do you support us going to Bay Street for...
Of course I do.
This is powerful. You know, I always knew I could count on you. You're such a wonderful young man.
No. First of all, I don't have the authority to make that decision. The CEO of Alive is Franklin Butler, right?
Okay.
And secondly, I am just one individual. I have no say over that. But I know Dion said the day when he quoted that if Junkanoo was canceled, people would get their money back. That have nothing to do with me.
Okay. Okay. But you
Yeah,
won't...
the chairman of the JCMP said that if they cancel Junkanoo, people will get their monies back, but that have nothing to do with me. I didn't make no statement.
Well, I want you to hold on to that money, and I want you to come to Bay Street. Okay? You're such a good man. How's your mom?
Rodney, Bobby is good, brother. Bobby is good, but I have no idea what you talk about, brother.
Tell mom I send my love, okay? And tell I want her to watch you, okay?
All right, Rodney.
Take good care.
Yeah, what?
Yeah. Okay, that was Dwayne Davis. He works for Live. He's a wonderful citizen. He supports Junkanoo, and it's powerful.
All right, so there was a statement released by the Prime Minister. I'm just hoping it is so, but it says two groups are claiming the mantle of Valley Boys, and this is a matter that is being worked out in court. Until the court decides, either both groups or neither group should participate. But under no circumstances is the postponement or cancellation of Junkanoo justified. So many Bahamians have poured their talent and artistry and time into preparing. And this is a cultural tradition we are all proud of and we all look forward to. Let's celebrate together. And I agree with that. I agree with that statement 100%. But now what is interesting is what may have led to the Prime Minister releasing that statement.
Well, Dion, what is his surname? Miller? Dion, the chairman. Dion Miller, he's issued a statement. Dion Miller?
So let's read it.
You better come to Black Village and see me. I don't have to come to Big Pond and wrong your mother house.
All right, so apparently Dion Miller did make a statement about canceling Junkanoo.
Yeah, and it's a very political statement. And when I take into consideration the amount of F&Ms, you see, I can say it. When I take into consideration how many F&Ms he's surrounded by, that statement is very political. And remember what I tell you, Dion Miller, last brother, is my godson. He's a very great young man. So you can watch out for me. I'm well connected. All right? And Dion wouldn't want me to have to come in Big Pond. Because when I go in Big Pond, there are two places I can row with impunity. Black Village and Big Pond. Because everybody in Big Pond knows me. So I don't want to go in Big Pond and carry on. All right? So let's have Junkanoo. The Prime Minister is correct. And I support the two groups. Let the two Wally boys go out and rush. It's powerful. And that's it. Okay, let's see who this is calling me now. Hello? Who's calling me? Hello?
Rodney.
Yes?
Rodney Manka.
Yes, who am I speaking to?
This Oscar Johnson boy. I want to answer all of the spiritual advisor questions for you.
Which one of Oscar Johnson?
Tell him call 530.
Which one of Oscar Johnson's son this is?
The one on the Fort Hill. The one with you right up my bill for.
Okay. Since you're Oscar Johnson child, go ahead. What is it you want to say?
I want you open the line 5 minutes early so I can answer all of those questions the spiritual advisor was asking you correctly.
Okay then, I'll open up the line for you to answer. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Senator.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So it's Junkanoo. It's amazing, hey. Christmas, and there can be no love. Goodness me, what this is, man? Can't there be love? Huh? Can't we give love a chance? Oh, you people ain't safe. I always thought that Bomber George was safe. Now I know Bomber George, he ain't safe. Well, I'm glad Dwayne Davis is safe. I don't know. Then they tell me I must call Mike Foster. They say Mike Foster behind this. It's amazing. Anyway, what else we going to talk about?
Well, let's see what happened here, man. So we're
You
trying to
still
get
talking
let's
Junkanoo?
get to the bottom of this, okay?
Goodness of mercy. I'm tired of
So
Junkanoo,
apparently
man.
the chairman of the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence,
Who's this
that's
now?
the JCNP, Dion Miller had announced Monday that the organization is considering canceling the highly anticipated upcoming Junkanoo parade due to what he described as continuous government interference. And in one statement, he says
You see?
that he believes that
You see the
there's
politics?
some. Yeah. Now, he is saying that he believes
You see the
that the
politics?
interference is because there's
That
a
in the
favor towards the Prime Minister's brother.
That in Dion.
No?
See, watch out for me. I know him. I know
So
him.
this is not a statement.
I'm not saying it is not a statement. It is a statement. I'm showing you the politics. All right?
So let me finish reading.
I don't want to hear it. I'm not going to allow that propaganda.
It's not propaganda. We're trying to figure out
My spiritual
how did we get to the
advisor-
Prime Minister now making a statement on
My
this matter.
spiritual advisor.
You just want to follow this
my spiritual
systematically.
advisor, I don't want to waste time. If they don't want rush, tough luck. I don't want to waste time on it. There are more pressing issues. We had
But
over $15
everybody
million
would
worth of cocaine landed in the
How much?
country.
How much it was?
$15 million worth of cocaine.
Okay.
I prefer to talk about cocaine. All right? These.
Why you interested in cocaine?
Yeah, I'm interested in it.
Why? Why would cocaine
Any
interest you?
drugs coming into my country, I'm interested in it.
As of when? Because I never knew you to be interested in drugs. Here it is. We have a national.
Who you know opposed
event
the
that is being
legalization of marijuana in the Bahamas?
Plenty of people.
I don't know of none.
Yeah, man.
Who?
Many people.
Who?
A lot of people.
Who?
A lot of people.
Who?
Whether you're out now, who?
Yeah, who? Come on. The Christian Council?
Yeah.
No.
They only
We
want
got
to
one
use for
Christian
medicinal use.
council pastor thinks that it could solve kidney problems.
Medicinal use of marijuana, doctors have proven can be helpful.
Anyway, my spiritual advisor, it's political. These are grown men. Money out of the public treasury is being donated to them, and they're not accountable to their members. They don't share the profits with their members. They think that they should be in charge of Junkanoo without election. That's what this is all about. Members are tired of the leadership stealing the money. You know how much money is laundered through Junkanoo? Carl Bettel was on the right track, but the F&M compromised on it. Watch it for me. Carl Bettel was on the right track when he called for all these groups to be registered so that there can be transparency and accountability. But the F&M allow some of them to slip through their hands. I kept quiet over it. I just said to myself, well, if that's what they're doing, let them do it until the day of row. Then I'll bring it up. All right? So I would hope that they're wise enough to go to Bay Street and think that they can't spite the whole society. What kind of statement this is where Dion is criticizing politically? Mario Boleg ain't understand that? I'm very disappointed in Mario Boleg if he is smart enough to recognize an F&M statement. I'm smart enough to recognize an F&M statement because I've been associated with them most of my life. It's very, very political. Very, very political. All right? Very, very political. We live in a society where all of us are related. The fact that a man is the Prime Minister's brother, does it mean that he should not get justice? Then we're in trouble. We are all related. And from time to time, different family members will come up. My family name have come up. I never told you all publicly how I went to the Prime Minister before he became Prime Minister. And I said, now listen here, you see him? That's my first cousin. You all think I stupid, eh? I went to the Prime Minister.
This is interesting.
What next?
We just have a press release from the F&M, right? Now this is, and I see why the gentleman called, because he wanted to explain some of the questions he had. But listen,
Which gentleman?
Oscar Johnson's son. Who he wanted to tell me exactly what my questions was. He wanted to answer them. But here's what I really wanted. There's a press release from Michael Pendant, right? He's leader of the Free National Movement. And here's what he said, and I find this to be very interesting. He says, when I had the honor of serving as Minister of Culture, I work closely with Junkanoo leaders and practitioners to host a conclave about the future of the festival. One of the outcomes of that meeting was the decision to create a Junkanoo Commission. The idea was simple but powerful: to form a public-private partnership that could manage key decisions affecting all aspects of Junkanoo.
It means that I get to put up with this now?
Let's finish this, Sandra.
Man, that don't solve the problem. I want Michael to tell me
amazing.
about the mace.
Let me finish. Man,
I don't want to hear that, man. I tired of
Sandra,
that.
you know something? This show is not balanced at all.
Okay. Well,
Everything has to go your way
Well,
or no way.
you need
That's
someone
not fair. Let's
you want
hear
me
the
to
idea.
Listen to
Let's-
Michael Pintard propaganda. Where
Sir-
was Michael when Junior Junkanoo was introduced?
Well, we'll scratch that one. Go ahead, Sandra.
Why are you opening him up to attack?
This is Burger King. How about your way, man?
Huh?
How about your
Why
way?
you opening
How about
him
your way,
up to attack? I don't want to hear
What
the
you're
effing
talking to man
propaganda.
for? This idea, in my
spiritual
mind, I'm
advisor-
saying
my
that
spiritual
they have to do
advisor,
something about it to
the
avoid this.
JCNP is out of order. The Attorney General has given certain legal advice. When there's a quasi government group goes against what the Attorney General says.
Sandra, as it stands, it doesn't seem as the AG have any power over the JCNP. It's an autonomous body. You didn't see the man saying he can shut down Junkanoo?
Anyway,
You didn't see that, right?
it suits you and the effing propaganda. Go right
No.
ahead.
All I'm saying is that obviously something has to happen to find a way
Dion
to
Miller
ultimately control
cannot
it.
close this down. And if Junkanoo groups want boycott it, I couldn't give 2 pennies if they won't do it. All I hope is they would return the check. If we want to destroy the culture over this, it's foolishness. There's a dispute within the Valley Boys. So how does that affect the Saxon? How does that affect one family? Just go to Bay Street and rush. And let the Saxon them row among themselves. Because fundamentally in every Junkanoo group, there is a dispute over the fact that monies are not accountable. You just go into Saxonville and talk with the young men there. They tell you how for years they don't know what the fellas do with the money. It's money. People are now producing good costumes. And they recognize that at the end of the day, the only thing they get is thank you. But there's big bucks, big bucks, big bucks. All right? I don't want to hear Michael Pintard's propaganda.
Somebody's going to have to ultimately control it, because obviously we are at this juncture because something is lacking. Obviously.
What juncture the Prime Minister said that Junkanoo should go on?
He's making a suggestion.
He has the political power
But
if he
that's
decides.
not what he's saying. Now, don't read into that. That ain't what he's saying.
All right then. Well, it doesn't matter.
He's making a suggestion, Sandra.
If they don't want Junkanoo, ain't no problem with
The
me.
Prime
I
Minister
stop
isn't saying.
rushing.
The Prime Minister isn't saying. I take in Junkanoo and I shake it by the neck.
Okay, so it doesn't
He's-
matter?
He's making a suggestion, and that's why I'm suggesting that
Perhaps
something needs
what
to be.
needs to happen is we need to hold public funding and allow Junkanoo Group to go out and raise their own money. This taxpayers' money could be used to feed that woman who just called me out of Freeport, and I just called Miles LaRuda minutes before the show started to tell her, hey, when you gonna deal with that lady in Freeport who's looking for a grocery voucher? So we have thousands of dollars that we are donating to Junkanoo, and they can't be civil and go to Bay Street, then the government should hold the funding and let them go in the private sector and raise the money. As simple as that. Since we're going to be spiteful and play politics, all right, the dispute is in the Valley Boys. So that shouldn't stop the Saxon from rushing. That shouldn't stop one family from rushing, unless, of course, politics is being played. And when you listen to Dion Miller, who's from Big Pond, my godson, big brother, you see how small the country is? When you listen to what he says, he's never been a political man. He's never been a political man. All right? It's a bunch of politics. But you will read the effing propaganda on it, right?
That's not a propaganda.
It's
Senator.
propaganda.
It's just a statement being
You
released.
check
Anything that's going on in the country, the opposition has a
my
right to look at
spiritual
it
advisor.
and give advice
When it
or
comes
to
to
reply to it.
let me tell you something.
Isn't
When it
that
comes
not
to
true?
agriculture, I know Michael Pintard better than you.
So isn't it?
When it comes to culture,
Yeah.
listen to me.
Your dislike for
When
this
it
man
comes to culture,
can't get you to be objective at all.
I
It's
do not
amazing,
hate
eh?
Michael. If I had hate Michael, I would not have taken him in the forest.
Are you upset that you're not leader of the opposition?
No, my days for that old. I's an old man.
But we have people.
I don't hate.
We have people in your old.
I
in
old.
context.
I into them. I have nothing against Michael. I've done more for Michael than you could ever do for Michael.
Well, you don't seem to have helped them because you're always complaining.
I've done more for Michael than you've
Yeah,
ever
but
done.
you haven't helped them much because you
Michael?
complain about him more than
Boy,
you ever praise him.
I have done
so
so
you
much for-
failed.
No, I'm not failed.
Yeah, you failed.
No, I'm not failed.
Yeah, that's the
I
man
t-
used to get in the bush, right?
In the
Yeah.
forest, deep in the bush.
Yeah, you ain't taking him deep enough because apparently
Yeah.
he's failed you, and you failed because you're the teacher.
Okay.
And the teacher's not above the student.
Okay.
But when fully trained, he can become just
You're
a teacher.
jealous. You're jealous. You can't believe that as these political leaders emerge, they can give you story. Huh? You're jealous.
You're a failure.
Watch it for me.
As a teacher, you're a failure.
Watch it for me. So, I'm tired of the story
boy.
now.
That's not.
If they don't rush, don't rush. All right? And the Saxons could do the way they used to do it in the 50s. We rushing through the crowd. So all you need is one set of group just rush through the crowd and bust up. Isn't that how we used to do it? Yeah.
All right, let's open the lines. We're at the 5-minute mark. We promised the man.
Is it 5:30 now?
It's 5:23, which means at 5:27 we're gonna cut. So you promised the man you go open the line 5 minutes early, right?
I'm not going to open up the line.
Okay, so he changed his mind, Johnson.
Yeah.
You know how this man go.
I changed my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish you would change your mind on a lot of things.
My mind has been changed on a lot of things. My mind has been changed.
He said he
on a
changed
lot
his
of
mind.
things.
So
Yeah.
after 5:30,
We're not going to talk about, you don't want to talk about drugs.
I'm not interested in drugs. I'm sorry. My father used to tell me, stay away from dope, don't smoke cocaine, don't smoke dope, and I never did it. So I'm not interested.
Do you want to talk about the advice that the incoming female commissioner got from the lesbian community?
What the advice is? Well, we can actually talk about the Prime Minister saying that the opposition is unhinged.
We passed that, man.
Are we past that?
Yeah.
Okay, so what advice did the lesbian community give the
members of the
incoming-
lesbian community has warned the incoming commissioner that she's being set up, that she has to be careful, that she's being set up, and that she may not get the kind of support that is necessary in order for her to achieve her objective.
Now, are any of these members of the lesbian community, any of them police officers? Because they wouldn't understand how the force operates.
Well, this particular lesbian is not a policeman,
Okay.
nor is she a policewoman. So, I don't know. Anyway, I just love this country. I just love this country. Right? Okay. Hold a straight face. This is Freedom March. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save the King. It's a wonderful day in the Bahamas.
What is this?
We're rowing over Junkanoo. All right? Dwayne Davis and Boomer George. George. It's powerful today. We'll be right back after the break.
Do you have something to say to the Senator? Call Freedom March at 323-7775. Toll free from anywhere in the Bahamas at 242-300-0045. Freedom March with Rodney Monker, only on ILTV. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Rule is my spiritual advisor, and is Tanya on the line. Hello, Tanya.
Good afternoon, Rodney, and good afternoon, spiritual advisor in Bahamas. How are you today?
Doing well, thank you.
That is great. That you know that because of Rodney Munker, the leader of the Women's Dam, they came on into ShopSmart and they said, listen, we need you to extend the sale, and we did.
This is powerful. I thank you on
Yes.
behalf of the woman them. Go ahead.
Yes, Rodney, we have increased the sale. In fact, the gentleman, LT from Black Village, came in, and
Really?
he said, as Rodney neighbor, we told him 30% off everything Christmas.
Oh, God bless you. I hope
We can have 5 pieces of clothing, Rodney, 5 pieces of clothing now for $25.
Wow. Well,
Yes.
everybody.
And we have decided to take 50% off the curtains and the rugs so the people could dress up their home this holiday season.
This is powerful. God bless you. What other nice things you have for the people?
Oh, yes. We still have up to 50% off all of our pot sets and all of our dishes sets. That you can go up to 50% up on them. And like I say, it's 30% off everything Christmas. So if you haven't gotten your Christmas tree as yet, come into ShopSmart. We've got the best trees in the business, and they're now 30% off.
This is powerful. This is powerful. So I hope everybody in Black Village, and I hope all the people them will come to your store. Tell them exactly where you are located.
Oh, yes, Bahamas ShopSmart is located right here at number 122 Mackey Street. If you turn off of Wolf Road and turn onto Mackey Street, found 2 corners on the left-hand side. It's the 2-story yellow building. ShopSmart department store in the building. You can't miss us. We have the beautiful trees, all of the light-up trees, the big blow-up Santa and the Grinch. Everything Christmas is right outside. Just come on in. We're now open 7 days a week, Mr. Munker, so they can come in Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.,
Yes.
or they can come in on Sunday after church, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
This is powerful. Well, I really hope that everybody has accepted your invitation, and I want all the Bahamian people to know that I support you because it's a wonderful business, okay?
Thank you so much, Mr. Munker, and I look forward to working with you throughout this holiday season to see what else we could do together to give back.
God bless you. You're kind. Take good care, eh?
You too, Mr. Munker.
All right,
I
bye-bye.
thank you.
Excuse me.
Well, folks, you might have heard by now that on Saturday, you have a not?
No,
You have a what?
no, he said we got a phone call.
We have a phone call. Hold that phone call. Well, folks, you would have heard by now that on Saturday, the 21st of December, there's going to be a big bang. And guess who's been invited to the big bang? I have been invited to the big bang. And so I need everybody who can hear me to spread the word. We're going to have a big, big bang. It's going to be greater than the last one. So I need every person to show up and let's party. Okay? We'll be talking about it as the days approach. This is powerful. My spiritual advisor. Go ahead.
Okay, so we're going to open the lines, are we?
Yes.
323-7775 is the number to call. 698-0775 and 698-0776. So we had a caller waiting. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live. Go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, spiritual advisor.
Yes, good afternoon.
And good afternoon, Senator.
Sir.
Spiritual advisor, before you put your 15 or 20 questions on the board, I want to set precedence. Is the church an autonomous entity?
Yes, it is.
Yes,
Separate from
it
the
is.
state.
100% autonomous.
Yeah.
Autonomous means you have the right to govern yourself without outside interference.
Okay.
Okay? Now, does everybody in the church walk around with a joint in their mouth, or they chop up the weed and put it in the chalice and swing it around?
No.
No. Reason being is because even although they're autonomous, they are accountable to the governing body that gives them their license, and they must comply and conform with the policies of the state and within the Constitution. Okay? Now, we could take that name, church, and put it onto the JCNP with one exception, that the JCNP is not 100% fully autonomous because they are quasi, like Mr. Munker say, they operate as a partner with government. Now you can ask your questions.
So, who has the ultimate authority?
In Section 4 of the contractual agreement, the written contractual agreement between the JCNP and the government or the Ministry of the Bahamas, it says that the JCNP will accept the applications on behalf of the government, submit them to the minister and the NJC, who has the final authority in selection.
Okay.
That's Section 4.
Okay. So what power does the chairman of the JCNP have?
The chairman of the JCNP have powers to exactly to the point of what I say. He can run his organization autonomously as long as his rules and regulations are within the gambit of the state laws.
So he doesn't have the sole power to cancel the parade?
No, he cannot cancel a parade. You know what cancellation means? It's not postponement, you know. Cancellation means to wipe off the calendar,
right,
to take it away.
So does he have the right to postpone?
Pardon me?
Does he have the power to postpone?
The only postponement you have the right to postpone, Junkanoo, is because of inclement weather or something of the sort.
What about changing of venue?
The changing of the venue has to be governmental involvement.
All right. So we are at this point. What's going to happen with Junkanoo?
The Prime Minister in the House of Assembly, according to Article 88, is the leader of the opposition because he demands. His ministers and his members of parliament are the elected custodial of the ministries he deemed to send them. The permanent secretaries, according to the Constitution, are the supervisors to the minister who runs the department.
Right. So in the case of Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, Mario Boleg, what authority he has over the JCNP or the Junkanoo?
He is the boss, the ultimate boss.
Okay.
He's the boss, but the problem with him is he has abdicated his responsibility and stuck his head in the sand. That's why this got on a whack the way it is.
So we can blame this on him?
He's the boss.
Okay.
Next question.
That's satisfied you, Senator?
I thank you, Oscar Johnson's son.
Yeah, we appreciate.
I thank you. You've educated my spiritual advisor.
We appreciate that. So this should.
And if any further questions you have, I listen. He can always ask me to call back.
Okay, no problem. Okay.
All right.
We appreciate that. So we got to blame Mario Boleg for getting in bed with the JCNP.
No, for listening to the F&M propaganda.
That's what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, 323-7775 is the number to call. 698-0775, 698-0776. In the meantime, producer, I think the ILKs, Carnival, free ride, December the 14th, 2024. It says East Sunrise, Freeport, Basketball Court, Exuma, Resilience Plaza, and Abaco. Okay, so they're doing something for the kids as it relates to Carnival. Are they doing anything for the kids in New Providence, producer? All right, so yeah. So the ILK's Kids Carnival, December the 14th, 2024, Clifford Park. Free rides from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. So free rides for the kids, treats, gifts, and more. So mark the date. December the 14th. I think that this is this Saturday coming. 2024, Clifford Park, IL Cares Foundation is going to give the kids a treat at Carnival. The time is from 12 to 4 p.m. Now, this is for kids only. Kids only, ages 2 to 12. Let me make sure that I say this correctly. This is for kids only between the ages of 2 to 12. Kids must be accompanied by a responsible adult at all times. Please remember that. There's free rides and treats and gifts and more for kids at Carnival, which is this Saturday, December 14, 2024, Clifford Park. The hours, of course, is 12 to 4 p.m. Kids only, ages 2 to 12. And, of course, the IL Cares Foundation says they want kids to be accompanied by a responsible adult at all times. Okay, this is great. And then, of course, they move to the Family Islands as well. So Kids Carnival goes to the Family Islands, free rides, treats, gifts, and more. East Sunrise, Freeport, basketball, then in Exuma, the Resilience Plaza, and Abaco, December 14, 2024, 12 to 4 p.m. Freeport, Illustra, Abaco, Exuma, South Andros, North Andros, Central Andros, Bimini, Harbor Island, Nagua, Long Island, Cat Island, Bay Island, Mangrove Key, San Salvador, Black Point, Stanley Key, Grand Key. So they're including everybody. All right. Thank you so much, producer. You have anybody in line? Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Great show. But I just want to say one thing. I enjoy the show, but I think Mr. Munker, he needs to be able to balance and stop cutting you off when you talk about the F&M. We are the democratic country, and you should be able to express freely.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
You're more than welcome. Appreciate your contribution. God bless you. 323-7775. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good day. I'd just like to point out a couple of things. The gentleman from Oscar Johnson, son, he was well on point. But the JCNP is representative of all of the Junkanoo bodies, and I think we're losing sight of that. Mr. Miller represents all of the members of the various Junkanoo organizations. That's one thing. The second thing is that while the name of the Valley Boys and the world-famous Valley Boys are one issue, that has nothing to do with the registration of the organizations with the JCNP. And I think that's what most people are losing sight of. The JCNP has rules and guidelines that any group wishing to participate in a parade must register by a due date and time. That was done by the world-famous Valley Boys, but it was not done by the Valley Boys. The Valley Boys could have gone ahead and register for the Boxing Day parade as well as the New Year's Day parade. And Mr. Munter, you're aware of this, the patent, name, patent, and copyright are all different. That is before the courts. The courts will decide who gets the name. It has nothing to do with who rush in the Junkanoo parade. Okay. And I think we are lambasting the JCNP when the JCNP is only following its rules, regulations, and guidelines. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks so much, caller. Oh. Okay. 323-7775. Welcome to Freedom House Call. You're live.
Hello?
Go ahead, caller. You're live.
Hello?
You're live, caller. Go ahead.
Good day, Mr. Munker.
Hello, Sister Herboyne.
Could you send a happy birthday greetings out to my nephew, Kevin Buchanan?
Kevin Buchanan?
Send a...
It's his birthday again? How old is he now?
Yes.
How old is he now?
No, this is a different Buchanan.
I know.
43.
How old?
43.
How you get so old and the other day you told me he was 10 or 12?
43.
Okay, well, happy birthday to him. And y'all having anything?
Yeah, that's his son. That was his son.
Okay. Y'all having anything in the village for him?
To my favorite nephew from his favorite auntie.
This is powerful. Auntie Francis, are you having any party for him?
No, you ask me, but you don't come.
Are you having any party for him? You're not answering me.
That's because she's listening to the radio.
Okay.
You don't come, then I tell you come. You say come in.
Tell me when to come, and I'll come quickly. When should I come? She's gone.
Well, ain't nothing till Christmas again.
Well, Christmas, call me, because
Okay, you have a good day.
I can eat turkey, okay? My neighbor, wonderful people. Now, they save the headlines of Black Village. They're safe.
323-7775. 698-0775. 698-0776. Welcome to Freedom March, caller. You're live, caller. Go ahead. Hello?
Joe.
Go ahead.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, that last caller before the lady made an incorrect statement. As a matter of fact, he probably made two. Okay? He said, what he said, spiritual, with reference to the parade. Okay, let me start off by saying that the JCNP is contracted by the government only to manage the parades.
Okay.
That's their sole purpose.
Okay.
To manage the parade.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he said that the way forward did not submit an application. That was largely incorrect. According to Dion, the chairman of the JCNP himself, on national radio, Junkanoo Talks on TV, he said when the way forward approached him with the application and the $600, he accepted it. But he told them, we just registered the Valley Boys last week. So we have to put this motion to the floor, in which he put it to the group members, and they rejected it. So he was incorrect. Our application went in on between March the 7th and the 5th and the 7th, and it was rejected by the JCNP. Now,
did they return the money?
Yes, they did. We have the return check. But let me tell him something about government agencies. If you go to road traffic to get your driver's license, this is our paperwork now, because we have to go to the Registrar General to get the license and the names and the various departments for this and that. You get your driver's license from the road traffic department, they stamp that, they sign that, they seal that. You jump in your car and you proceed to go down the road, and the police stops you. And he asks for your license and registrations. You didn't get that from the police department. You got that from another government agency. And once he sees you are in compliance, he has to comply with the fact that you got that from another agency, and it is correct. All our paperwork was correct.
Oh, okay.
Our paper, the way forward paper, as a matter of fact, we had oversubscribed the paperwork. So he made one or two incorrect statements. Thanks.
All right. Thank you so much, caller.
All right.
Take care. 323-7775 is the number to call. 698-0775 and 698-0776. We got 10 minutes. Welcome to Freedom Watch, caller. You're live.
Spiritual advisor.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Everything cool. Listen, I only called to not to talk with Junkanoo, but I want you and Mr. Mann could do me a small favor, please.
Go ahead.
Please let the powers that be who work administrative works, who's responsible for putting in the Christmas lights at the roundabout. Mm-hmm. Let them know the small children who are excited to see those lights live in Coral Harbor too, eh? It's the second year when almost Christmas time or Christmas week, they leave us out for the last and don't beautify the roundabout. Let them know children live in Coral Harbor too.
Okay.
Please send a message out, and we'd like to have lights in the roundabout and participate just like every other community.
So you tell me that the roundabout of the Coral Harbor, there's no Christmas decorations on that roundabout presently as we speak? All right. So the Ministry of Works, please help with the people at the Coral Harbor roundabout. You're dressing up all the other ones. Why not that one?
Just speak to your classmate and tell her to decorate it. You don't have to call her name.
Classmate. Would that fall in her purview?
I just told you that, my spiritual advisor.
Okay, classmate, please see to it that the children in the Coral Harbor constituency, that they can go to that roundabout when they're in their cars with their parents and see those lights, eh? Classmate, you know who I'm talking to. Although you cut me off, but it's all good. 323-7775 is the number to call. 698-0775 and 698-0776. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live. Hello,
Good
caller.
evening.
Yes, you're live. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, Mr. Moncur.
Yes?
I'm calling to ask you, did you get your African outfit?
Yes, I have. In fact, this evening, I'm going to fit her.
Oh, awesome. I saw your friend, Mr. Dave Williams, on Saturday evening, and he was wearing an African outfit. So I told him, I said, you have to sort Moncur out because he's looking for an African outfit to wear to an event.
Who did you say?
And he actually told me that you grew up together.
Who's this?
Dr. Dave Williams.
Maybe we can find him.
Yes.
In town.
Yes.
So he said he was trying to reach you.
Well, tell him I need an African spear and shield. That's the only thing, because when I go to the party on Thursday, when I walk in and I holler, Hungayaya!
You hungry? Know? That means you're hungry?
He said you call him, so make sure call him back and get your spear and everything.
Okay. I thank you.
I'm looking for a jacket.
He came back from Ghana.
Okay. I'm looking for a nice African jacket to wear.
You know, I'm not clear on the name that you said must call, before you leave me. Who should I call?
Dave Williams.
Dave, you
grew
say?
Up together in Baintown.
Dave?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, good evening.
All right,
Thank you very much. Yeah.
323-7775 is the number to call. 698-0775, 698-0776. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live. Go ahead, caller. Are you there?
Hello.
You're live, caller. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hello. Speak to us.
Spiritual advisor.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you deal with Rodney Moncur every day?
Only Jesus could tell you.
You really is a man of God. Rodney need to settle down, man. He carry on too much. How do you deal with that? No professionalism in Rodney at all.
You need the Spirit of God.
Spiritual advisor.
Yes, ma'am. It is a task. And only Jesus is with me. This man is something else. I agree with you, ma'am. Thank you so much, caller. Welcome to Freedom House Call. You're live. You got 3 minutes to go.
Spiritual advisor, Rodney Moncur.
How are you, Bunker?
I'm fine. I'm just curious to know the folks who called in to talk about the JCN. They qualify? Are they a part of the executive?
How are we supposed to know that?
No, because they're talking like one or two callers. They're talking like they have their 30. I think one gentleman, I think he did read something to you.
They just had information. I don't know if they're saying they have the authority, but they're just feeding information. Now it's just up to us to fact check.
That's it. But I, at the end of the day, I think everything will be resolved, and we will see you on Rodney Moncur on Bay Street. But I think that if Rodney boy choose not to run, not to rush, that's their best. Junkanoo should go on with whoever they are. One family is my group, and the rest of the group, just rush. Group shouldn't stop the show of Boxing Day and New Year. Have a good day.
Okay, I'm Pumpkin Eater. 323-7775. I think we got time for one more call. Welcome to Freedom House Call. You're live.
Good afternoon, Mr. Moncur. How you do?
Right, yes, sir.
Afternoon, spiritual advisor.
Yes, sir. You got 30 seconds.
I was just trying to find out under whose authority did Mr. Davis have to get the registration of the Valley Boys name in the first place?
The Registrar General.
The Registrar General is a government entity, right?
Yes.
Isn't the Inland Revenue a government entity as well?
Yes.
So if I have a name registered with the Inland Revenue, the Registrar General still could give out that same name?
the way it is done is inland should not give it to you unless they first check to see what the Registrar General's position is, whether or not it has already been given out. If they didn't check, then they acted grossly irresponsibly.
So what if inland was registered before Register General?
Well, if inland was registered before the Registrar General, one is going to assume that the Registrar General should have had notice of it.
Exactly my point.
Yeah.
And the next thing, the JCMB is still representative of all groups, not just one group.
Yes.
That is true.
Yes, you're correct. Thank you so much, caller.
This is Freedom March. God save Junkanoo in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save the King. God save Bomber George. God save Dwayne Davis. It's powerful. Hold on, everybody. Tomorrow, if it's God's will.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney